Now, I know that the dating world is a lot different today than when I was in my 20s and 30s. Now they have apps and dating sites and all kinds of things, and everything is pretty fast paced. You can go and look and choose and everything that you want. But yet we still meet people in the normal way, right? Maybe at your church or at the shop or at the special event, or maybe friends introduce you to someone. And because we're not used to being face to face with people anymore, because we're just so used to just scrolling through on our telephones, sometimes we kind of forget those signs that keep us in tune with other people and let us know if that person likes us or not. And sometimes we let butterflies get in the way, and that causes us to not believe and trust in your instinct because we don't know, does he like me or does he not like me? Well, I got you. I'm going to give you a few signs. Now, I'm sure a few of these signs you already know to look out for, but some I bet you would never have thought of in a million years. So without further ado, if you're interested and you want to know if that special guy is thinking about you and is interested in you and wants to be with you, so if you want to know, then most definitely this is the place to be. So don't go anywhere, okay? Now, have you ever had that guy look at you and stare at you, and his look is so deep and penetrating that it looks like he's going deep into your very soul? He's looking at you so deeply that you're almost scared that he can tell what color bra you have on. Yep. That stare means that he wants to possess you. He wants more of you. He wants to be with you. He wants to be a part of you. And he wants to know everything about you. And he wants you to know that he's looking at you and that he's interested. And he wants to take a mental snapshot of you so that he can look at it over and over and over and over again in his mind when you're not with him. So yes, if a guy looks at you and he's penetrating, he stares at you, that is most definitely a sign that he is interested in you. So you're talking one day and you tell him about your childhood, about where you grew up, about your friends, and that when you were a little girl you had a pink bike and that you used to ride around the neighborhood, and that your brothers and your sisters used to go to the shops, and all these kind of insignificant little things. And then a few days later, you're talking about something random, and he just comes out and says, I bet you looked cute on that pink bike. And you sit back and you think, pink bike? How do you know I had a pink bike? And he says, because you told me. Now, it was such a throwaway comment for you. You didn't even remember that you told him that. But oh yeah, he remembered. Because he remembers every detail. Everything that you tell him, he remembers. Because he wants to know you. He wants to know more of you. He pays attention to every single detail. Because if you don't care about someone, you don't care about something silly like a pink bike. Who cares? But if you're interested in someone, every little detail is important. So if he remembers those little things, that means that he is most definitely interested in you. Borrowing habits. Now, this is a very subtle thing, but he starts borrowing the habits that he sees that you have. Things like if you drink coffee with no sugar, or if you wear a winter scarf or in a certain way, or if you say something in a certain manner. Oh yeah, he will start copying. He will borrow those little things because it means that he wants to connect with you. He wants to be a part of you. He wants to be like you. He wants to be in your world. And that connection also means that he's open to try new things, and he's open to try new things with you. Now, when you're sitting beside this special someone, and then you're talking, and then all of a sudden, he will just gently touch your hand or touch your shoulder and he keeps on doing it, oh, he's flirting with you. Oh, he is most definitely flirting with you. And he's letting you know that he likes you, and he's letting you know that he's flirting with you. And he also wants to see your reaction. How are you going to react to his touch? And also, people that you like, people that you're attracted to, you like to touch them. You like to feel them. You want to feel their skin. At least I do. So, do you? You better let him know before it's too late. So my husband and I, before we were together, we were just friends. And we were part of a group of friends that every Friday and Saturday night, we would go out to some event, or we would get together at somebody's house, or we would go out for a drink. And at the end of each evening, we would stand outside and we would decide how we were going to get home, because not everybody drove, and some who did drive, maybe they had a little bit too much to drink and it wasn't the case that they drove home. So we would decide who would take who home. Now, I didn't have a car at the time, so they would say, who's taking Angie home? Now, to be honest with you, I always found it a little bit embarrassing because I felt like I was in the way, a bit of a nuisance. And some would say, oh, I can't take her because I'm going the opposite way. And some would say, no, it's a bit too far because I'm going this way. And some would say, I could take her, but then I'm taking this person. And then my future husband at the time, and we were just friends, we just met. He stood up and he said, I'll take Angie home. And I'll take so-and-so too. Of course, I thanked him. And while I was walking to the car, I said, are you sure? And he said, from now on, you're always with me. Is that okay? And I said, that's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, we had other people in the car, and it would have made sense for him to drop me off first, then take them home, and then go to his house. But he always found a way to make sure that he dropped me off last, because he wanted to spend more time with me in the car. He can say what he wants, but I know that's what it was. So when a man likes you, he will go out of his way to make things okay for you, and he will go out of his way to be helpful. He will do anything for you. When a guy likes you, his protective gene steps in. When a guy really likes you, he wants to do things to make sure that you're safe, like walking you to your car or walking you to your door. Or if it's raining, he wants to cover you. Or if it's cold, he will offer you his jacket. These are the things that guys do when they want to protect you, when they want to make sure that you're safe. And that is most definitely a sign of someone who is interested in you. Now, if you start seeing yourself appearing in all of his social media posts, that is most definitely a sign that he likes you. Even in the most normal and simplest event, he's posting the pictures of you and him. He's just showing you that he's proud to be with you, and that he wants people to know that he knows you and that he's with you, and he's proud of that. So yep, most definitely, this is a sign of a man who wants to be with that particular woman. And that's you. So you're there talking with others and you're trying to arrange to meet for a next social event. And he says, no, she can't because she has to take her nephew to the cinema that day. He remembers your schedule. He remembers everything about you, every detail. Because why? Because you're important enough for him to remember things for. And that just shows how much he cares about you and how much he wants to be with you. Because every detail about you is worth remembering. Yeah, that's a good thing. He likes you. So you're there talking, and he starts to tell you about how your friend Marsha, how nice she is, and how she seems like a really intelligent and friendly person, and that your dad, he seems like a really stand-up guy. Indirectly, he's complimenting you about your friends and your families. And that shows he likes your world. He likes your circle of friends and your circle of people. He likes being a part of it. He likes being in your world, and he wants to be more in your world. And he wants to be a part of whatever it is that you're a part of. Yep, this most definitely is a guy who is interested in you. So no matter what time of the day or the night, if you call him, if you ask to see him, if you want to do something, he is always available. He is always available for you. And if he does have another appointment, he will move the heaven and earth to change it. Why? Because he doesn't want to give up any opportunity to be with you. Any chance that he can get, he will do everything that's humanly possible to be with you. That is someone who is most definitely interested in you. That's great, right? So he will look at you and listen and study and see the things that you like, see the things that you're interested in, and he will go and research them, study them, look them up, because he wants to be a part of whatever it is that you are a part of, and he wants to create that connection with you. Again, before I got married, when we were just friends, I remember I was really into Stephen King. I used to read Stephen King books all the time, absolutely loved them. And I had just finished reading The Stand. And that's a really thick book. And I told him about it. And he asked me if I still had it, if he could borrow it. I said, of course. And I gave it to him. And let me tell you something, in about 2 days, he read that book from cover to cover. I don't know how he did it. He must not have ate or slept. I don't know what he did, but he read that book in record time. And he was really proud to come to me and tell me that he had read it. And we spoke about it for a while. And he went through all of that just so that we could have a few minutes connection to talk about a book and the author that he knew that I liked. And that is something that I really appreciated. So if your Mr. Special is doing something like that for you, then most definitely he thinks that you are worth the time and the effort, because he's really interested in you. When he starts including you in future plans, things like, they're opening a new restaurant next week. Do you want to come with me? Or next month is my friend's wedding. I would really love it if you'd be my plus one. When he starts including you in things that's not just for today or tomorrow, but for next week and next month, that just means that he is definitely planning and sticking around, and he wants you to be with him and to stick around with him, and he wants you in his life, not just for now, but for the future too. So he's planning ahead, he's making plans, and you are most definitely part of those plans. Now, when a guy is ready to take the relationship to the next level, oh my goodness, he's ready. All you have to do is just to look at him, or to give him a nod or a smile. And God forbid if you touch him, all you have to do is look at him and say the word, and he would be off like a rocket ship to space. But because he knows that you're not ready, he knows that you're not quite there yet, he's prepared to take a deep breath and to take a step backwards and to wait on your cue. Because he already knows that you're the one. Oh yeah, you're the one. Whether it's today or tomorrow or next month, he will gladly wait because you are most definitely worth the wait. He's not going to push you. He's not going to make any sexual comments or any innuendos, nothing to make you uncomfortable. He just wants you to be ready. He just wants to make sure that you are in the right place and that you are just as ready as he is. And a guy like that, as far as I'm concerned, is most definitely a keeper. Now, one of the signs that it's not one of the obvious signs, and it's also very subtle, but when he starts mirroring your mannerisms, the way you put your head to the side, the way you smile, the way you might brush your hair away from your face, the way you move your hands, your hand gestures, all those little things, he starts doing them too. That's just showing he so much wants to be a part of your world. He so much wants to find and have that connection with you that he starts mimicking your mannerisms. Now, he probably has no clue that he's doing it, but it's cute though, don't you think? He notices those little changes in you, like your hair, or if you have a new dress, or if you've changed the color of your lipstick. Those little signs, if he notices those little things, that just says that he notices everything about you, every detail about you, because he is so interested in you. He doesn't want anything to go unnoticed. So yes, that most definitely is a big telltale sign that he's interested in you. If when he's talking with you, he turns off the volume on his phone and he puts his phone away, that's a big one. That says that he doesn't want anything or anyone to interrupt you or to take away from the time that he wants to spend with you. So if you see him do that, just know that his interest is piqued and that he definitely wants to be with you. Now, if during the course of the day or the evening or the night, when you're not together, if he starts texting you more than usual, that shows that he's thinking about you, that he wishes that he was with you, and that he can't wait to see you. So yep, that's most definitely a sign too that this guy is interested in you to the max. Now, one of my favorite signs is when a man is not afraid to be vulnerable. When he's talking to you and suddenly he starts opening up to you and telling you little things about his childhood, about his past, little things that maybe where he was hurt in something, where he shows you that softer, gentle, vulnerable side. This is most definitely one of my favorite signs. I love it when a man is vulnerable. I love it when he trusts me enough to want me to see his inner being and to see him for who he is, when he's not afraid to show that softer side. So if you're special someone, all of a sudden he starts opening up and lets you get in, and he brings down that wall and lets you see who he really is. That is something, it's an honor really, because that's just telling you, I trust you, I believe in you, and I trust you so much that I give a part of myself to you. Some men might think that being vulnerable is a weakness. I most definitely do not think so. It is one of the most manliest things that there is. I absolutely love it, and it is most definitely one of my favorite signs. Now, another sign that you probably wouldn't have thought of is that when someone is attracted to you, they have a surge of hormones with things like dopamine. But you know what, I'm not going to get into the technical side of it, but these hormones cause the pupils to dilate, to get bigger. So if you get close to that guy and you see that his pupils are like, whoo, when you're close to him, well, that is probably because he likes what he sees. He likes you. But remember though, that if you're close enough to see his pupils, he's close enough to see yours. And what is he seeing? Is he seeing your pupils dilating too? So here we are. We've come to the end of another video. Hopefully you've already thumbed up the video and left a comment down below. Thank you for being a part of Life Soundtrack. I look forward to seeing you again soon. But until then, be kind to yourself and to others. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.